Hi guys, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make these flower coasters. And for this tutorial, I'm going to be using a bigger hook and a bigger size yarn so you can see the stitches. But if you want to know the kind of yarn that I used for these, it's worsted weight yarn, which is 4 ply for the US, 10 ply for Australia. And I used a 4mm hook or size G hook for the US. Also, I recommend getting 2 different kinds of colors so that you can really show the difference in the pattern itself. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make the center and how to cut your yarn so that you know how to change colors as well. So go ahead and grab your hook and yarn and we'll get started. So to begin this coaster, you want to create your slip knot and then do a chain of 3. And then we're going to be working in that first chain that you did, so the 3rd chain from the hook. And we're going to be putting a double crochet, so you want to yarn over, insert your hook into that chain, and then I recommend going ahead and wrapping your tail around your end. You don't have to do this, but I like to do it because it gives me more of a, I can pull it later to tighten the hole if I need to, if you work over your tail. So if it's too difficult for you, don't worry about it. Just put a double crochet in that first chain. Then yarn over, and working in that same stitch, we're going to want to put a total of 11 double crochets. Our chain 2 at the beginning will count as our first stitch, will count as our first double crochet. Sorry about somebody out there honking like that. And I'm working over my tail too because I do like to be able to pull it when I'm done and tighten up that center hole. But once I'm done. So go ahead and continue to put 11 double crochets worked into the same stitch, and I'll see you when you get back. Okay, so once you have your 11 double crochets plus your beginning chain 2, you want to find the top of your chain 2 and slip stitch into it. And then go ahead and chain 1 and cut your yarn. Now we're going to be adding on our next color. Okay, with your next color, I recommend when you make your slip knot that you leave a little bit of a tail so that you can hide it later with a tapestry needle. It just gives the ending such a finished look, much better look when the tails are going to come free. Okay, so we're going to be doing what's called a double crochet attachment. And all that is you know you're doing a double crochet, so you're going to yarn over like you always do, and then hold that with your finger so that it doesn't come loose. And I recommend that you don't enter in the last stitch that you started, but somewhere like midpoint, some random area away from your ending stitch, because it's just going to look better. So just choose a stitch that you want to work in, then pull up that loop, still holding on to it with your finger here. Now you want to yarn over, pull through 2. Now you can let go with your finger, then yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have your double crochet attachment. In that same stitch, you want to put another double crochet. Now, you want to put 2 double crochets in each stitch. We're going to double our stitches this round. We ended with 11 double crochets plus the chain 2 space. Plus the chain 2, so we had a total of 12 stitches. So we're doubling it this round, so we should have 24 at the end. It's a little bit more difficult for me to do this because I'm using such thick chunky yarn for the tutorial, but it was so much easier doing this with the worsted weight yarn. Okay, when you come up to that chain space here, you want to go ahead and skip that stitch and then just keep going. Putting 2 double crochets in each stitch. Okay, so we have one stitch left, which means we should have 22 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. We do. So the very last stitch here will have the last 2 double crochets we need. So we have a total of 24 stitches here. Now you want to find that very first double crochet attachment and slip stitch to end your round. That ends round 2. So for round 3, you want to chain 2, and now on that very first double crochet of the round, the one we just slip stitched into to end the round, you're going to do a front post double crochet. So yarn over, find the post of that first double crochet, and we're going to be working on the post, not in the stitch, and you'll do a double crochet worked on that post. Now the next double crochet we're going to skip. Then the following, we're going to put 3 double crochets, then a chain 1. So 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets, all worked in that same stitch. So see, we have 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, all worked in the same stitch. Now separate that one, make sure that this is the one that you've worked in so that you skip the next one correctly, and then the next one we're going to be working a front post double crochet again. Be careful here that you always make sure that you line it up and find that double crochet so that you skip the proper one here, and then then front post double crochet on the next. Then again you'll skip the next one, and then the following one you'll repeat what you did before for this peak, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, all worked in the same stitch. So there's my my double crochet, chain 3 double crochets and chain 1, and then another 3 double crochets worked in the same stitch. Then again, line it up so that you know that this is the correct double crochet you just worked in. So you skip the next one, and then the one after that you want to put a front post double crochet. Again, you'll skip the next one, and the following one you'll do your 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, and you're going to continue this all the way around. 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets. Then again, you want to make sure you find the right one, skip the next one, and double crochet on the post of the next one. So continue this all the way around. Okay, when you've finished your last little peak area here, and usually you would do your front post double crochet, but after your very last one you want to slip stitch in that beginning chain 2 to end your round. And then you can change your color now if you want to make something like this, or leave it the same color if you want to have it full like this. So I'm going to show you both ways. So if you want to go ahead and keep the color that you have right here, you can chain 2, then front post double crochet on your front post double crochet, front post double crochet onto your front post double crochet, and then you'll skip right over until you get to the peak, the chain 1 space here. And instead of doing 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, this round we're going to be doing 4 double crochets. So you do 3, 4 double crochets, chain 1, and then 4 double crochets on this side. And then once you got that, you'll move over to your front post and do a front post double crochet on your front post double crochet. And then again, you're going to move over here and do your 4 double crochets, chain 1, 4 double crochets, and that's how you're going to work it all the way around. Now if you want to switch your color, keep in mind you're going to be hiding the tails at the end. So instead of the beginning chain 2, you would just slip stitch, which is where we are right now, slip stitch in the top of your chain 2 here, and then you can cut your yarn and then grab up your next color. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch to end this row all together. Okay, had to get my yarn situated here. So again, we're going to do just like we did before. We're going to wrap the yarn around from the back to the front. Then we're going to find a place not here but somewhere away from there, and we're going to attach our yarn onto a front post double crochet. So I'm going to use this front post double crochet, I guess. Pick up that post and then do your double crochet worked onto the post. Then just go right into the next chain 1 space on your peak and put your 4 double crochets, chain 1, and then 4 double crochets. It's a lot easier to fit the yarn in here when it's smaller. So there you got your peak there done. Now you're going to move over to the front post again and do a front post double crochet worked on your front post double crochet. Then you're going to go ahead and go back into the next one, and again you're going to do 4 double crochets, chain 1, 4 double crochets. And you want to continue that all the way around, and when you get back to the beginning again, you want to find that very first front post double crochet that we did and just find the top of the stitch and slip stitch. Then you can chain 1, cut your yarn, and then that is how you make your coaster. Of course, you need to get your tapestry needle now and sew in your ends. My camera's all wobbly, sorry about that. But this is how you make this cute little flower coaster. So that's it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please don't forget to click like and share this video. It helps me out so much. And if you always want to be notified whenever I release a new tutorial, you can click that little bell button next to the subscribe button on my main YouTube page and always be notified whenever I release a new tutorial. Also, if you'd prefer, because I always have releases on my YouTube page, as well as my PDF shops and my tutorials on YouTube. So if you always want to know what's going on or coming out from me, then you can sign up my email blast that I do weekly, and it'll have everything in there that I've gotten done for that week so that you don't ever miss a thing. Also, I have 2 groups on Facebook, Crochet for the Masses and Crochet Zone Public. Crochet Zone Public is a place where you can go if you're a designer and advertise your own crochet designs, or if anyone just wants to share crochet patterns. It can be free or paid patterns, but Crochet for the Masses is free only. So if you're just wanting to hang out and have a group of friends to share your own projects that you're making, that would be the place to do it. Oh, also I have a group on Pinterest. It's free crochet patterns only community board where a lot of designers will post. So I encourage you to go there if you're always looking for free crochet patterns and it's difficult to find. There's hundreds that to choose from. I check my boards daily, so it's spam free, like 99% of the time. So I encourage you to go there and check it out. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching.